This is a video for a glute stretch, which is great for the low back and again, creating more strength and power for the legs and good for any tightness you might have in the hip joint. Let's begin we'll do pigeon today. We'll begin in all fours. So if we come down to all fours, this can help us set up our position. From here, we're going to draw that right knee forward, the left leg a little bit back. The right knee then can move a little bit past that right hand and then settling the hips back. Now, right here, you might begin to feel some stretch. Some of you might not feel stretch at all. I want to give some variations. Sometimes it's great to have a towel to put underneath that hip joint or the butt area so that once you drop into it, you feel a little bit more supported and that feels like a good stretch. So that's one option. Another option is, for me, sometimes I like a block, a yoga block at an angle, and a yoga block with a bolster, little towel support is my favorite. I'm going to get my timer because here we go. Let's start our stretch. So that's the setup. And again, some of you might try the pose without any bolsters or blocks. I do like to use blocks. It's a little bit safer. And then as you progress, you can go without blocks and they're different and we get different angles stretching. So once you're set up, remember right knee past that hand, we can drop down. Maybe again, your starting dropping down position is here. And let's just start breathing into this. The nice thing about pigeon pose on the floor is that as you relax your chest, the weight of the torso is already getting a great stretch for that glute. So breathing here. And as you, again, just hold and relax the chest, you might be getting a stretch. If you're not feeling enough, you're feeling like, oh, that feels really comfortable, then you would drop down to the forearms, and that feels really great. If you're still sensing that it's a fairly comfortable stretch, you can always move this foot a little bit forward. I'm actually feeling a lot, and this feels great. So breathing in and breathing out. Now, if you can sort of check in with your hips, one hip should not be flaring up. So you can always physically just sort of look, is one hip flaring up? Can I get my hips even over the floor? Does that mean I need to move my knee a little bit further out? Again, play with your adjustments here. For the last 30 seconds, let's make it a little bit active. So lift up, right? So you can be lifted up with a block or no block. We're going to take a breath in. I'm pressing my hand into that right knee, so there's this sense of activity, almost as if you could you just stabilize there. That's the strength of your glute. And then we're going to drop and lift and drop and lift. Good. And dropping and lifting, maybe really light on the fingers, dropping and lifting. And you can even test, could I even do it without any hands? Oh, barely. I have other things that are tight. My adductors are tight. All right, that's 2 minutes. Let's come out of that. So I'm going to move the block. I'm going to come into table and take a moment in child pose, just as a counter pose. The hips move back, forehead drops, pause there, breath into the back. We'll go into the other side. So bring the from table, left knee moves forward, right leg moves back. You're going to check your hands. That's going to be your guide. That left knee shifts a little bit out to the side, and the left foot you can maybe pull a little bit forward. Again, I'm going to use some support. So I'm going to use a nice towel underneath that left buttock. It gives me a better stretch than if I were just doing it on the floor, putting a little block underneath my left knee. And then there's this pressure of the knee into that block, or again, it could be two towels and that spiral down and in, internal spiral. All right, now that we've got the setup, let's do 2 minutes on this side. So again, hands could be in front of you and just bending. If you had a yoga block, you could start by resting there. That feels good. Now, where should you feel the stretch? Around that left sit bone. So around, if you had jeans on, that pants pocket on the left side, somewhere around there is the gluteus maximus. That's what we're going for. Piriformis is around there. You're stretching there. You might even get some lateral hamstring. It's a great stretch. I'm going deeper. We're about 30 seconds into it. We're going for 2 minutes. As you take a deep breath in, feel that breath lengthen through the spine as if the breath could go down into that left sit bone. The exhale, you're just relaxing into that pose as best as you can. So that breath, breathing in, helping you stay there. And again, if you need more, I mean, some people like to walk your hands a little bit further out, chest drops. Oh gosh, that's a great stretch. If that's not enough, maybe a slight movement of the foot forward. That will get a different angle and stretching. And you're breathing in. Oh, these are all good adjustments. I can feel that glute stretching. Great for the low back, good for the hips, the mobility of that femur bone, that thigh bone in that hip socket can be restricted by this tightness. So we're going to do that movement. Come up. I'm even using another block. Oh, that's so good. So just lifting is a pose in itself. Oh, and then I'm dropping. Again, there's a sense that can I do it almost using mostly the strength of my legs. So yes, I'm using my hands to support myself, but I'm trying to press down from the strength of that left leg pressing into the block, which is why we use a block. All right, that's 2 minutes. Okay, let's come back into table and child pose. When I do that, it usually affects the tension around the inner or outer knee. I can usually feel that tension. Whew. And that is our glute stretch. Good job.